Chapter 19. It's not about hard work and struggle. It has always struck me as strange that some of the richest people in the world work the least. The more I studied the hidden rich, the more I discovered that they work less than most of the people around them, and yet achieve several hundred times the level of financial success. What is their secret? Before I stumbled upon these spiritual principles and put them into practice, I was also one of those who believed that money only came through hard work. As a result, for several years of my life, I literally worked my back off till the wee hours of the morning with hardly any time left for my own personal enjoyment. While I did get some financial remuneration out of it, I wasn't happy or fulfilled. In fact, I didn't feel happy at all, given that I had no time to devote to my own personal hobbies or my own self-enjoyment. Many people around the world fall into the social conditioning and trap that we have to work very hard for the first 40-some years of our life and then enter into a state of retirement where we can do things we like. Sadly, retirement paints a gloomy picture for most people, as they often do not have the luxury of their previous income. How many people whom you know are able to live in retirement at the same standards as when they were previously working? Retirement is definitely one of the most pervasive myths in our society. The hidden rich do not believe in retirement. They do not see the need to postpone having fun and enjoying themselves until a certain time in the future. They seek ways and means to have fun and achieve that balance right now. If you too can adopt the same mindset, you'll find yourself having both, having fun and leading a fulfilled life where money flows easily. One of the most unresourceful beliefs you should give up is the one that you have to slog for the first 60 years of your life before finally using up whatever time and money is left over to enjoy yourself. How ridiculous is that thinking? Start today by giving yourself permission to have fun and enjoy yourself. These spiritual principles will make it entirely possible. Before I discovered these spiritual principles, I was living a very outer-directed life. I was constantly out there trying to do more, be more, and have more. I was, as mentioned earlier, always very concerned about whether I was at the right place at the right time. After I understood these spiritual laws, I reversed my approach completely. Instead of wondering whether I was doing the right things, I trusted in the universe and embraced whatever uncertainty I was in. After a while, I found myself trusting in the universe more and more, in that the right path would be shown to me one step at a time. I can tell you from personal experience that ever since adopting this new mental attitude of taking things one step at a time and trusting the universe, miraculous changes have happened for me. I probably work 1/5 as hard as I used to and get 3 times as much done because I am so relaxed and focused whenever I do work. The stress and strain is gone, and yet the outer results keep coming. This is not just unique to me. Read the memoirs of successful individuals who have achieved astounding levels of success in their field, and you'll find a sense of balance and flow to the way they organize their activities. They just let things be and take things one step at a time. Obviously, these people have a very different inner state from the rest of the population. I encourage you to adopt this attitude in your daily work or job, and you'll see the results coming even faster than you can imagine. It is probably difficult to just trust in the universe completely all at once, so I am not asking that you adopt this new form of thinking immediately. Rather, over the next few days and weeks, try to give up any obligations or shoulds in your life. Any time you catch yourself saying, I should do this, or I should be more efficient or hardworking or whatever, immediately catch hold of yourself and ask yourself whether it is something that is coming from inspiration or fear. Remember that our old fear-based conditioning is always trying to keep us safe. It does so by anticipating disaster scenarios in the future and then trying to prepare us for them. The problem is that these so-called disaster scenarios are just that, imagined scenarios. For every ounce of energy you expend into conjuring up these unwanted scenarios in your mind, there is no reason why the same energy cannot be focused into imagining a desirable future outcome. Therefore, recognize first of all that your fear-based conditioning is trying to pull you towards negative thoughts and outcomes, and always trying to get you to prepare for negative thoughts and outcomes. If you do not stop these naturally occurring thoughts in their tracks, they will continue to take up space in your consciousness and drain your energy such that you have no energy left for desired manifestations. This is especially so when you are trying to manifest money. Back when I was deeply worried and fearful about money, I was thinking about money all the time. The thing was that my thoughts about money had a negative overtone to them, and I always felt a sick feeling inside of me that seemed so natural to me. I was addicted to this feeling and came to associate this worry feeling as my true self, which I know today to be untrue. As a result of always worrying about money, my fear-based self was always trying to preempt me for various future scenarios in which money would run out. To prevent these scenarios from happening, it would compel me to do certain things, like to look for new businesses, or to start a new budgeting program, or come up with some way to make some money, and so on and so forth. It is likely that you have some of these impulses running through your head as well. The first step is to recognize whether these are fear-based impulses, or are they inspirational thoughts from your higher self. If an individual has been thinking negatively for a long, extended period of time, it is likely that the whole of his consciousness will be filled with fear-driven thoughts and motives. You can always know by the way you feel whether these thoughts come from the divine or whether they come from that fear-based part of you. Fear-based thoughts always feel obligatory, and they just do not feel right to you. There is an uneasy, nagging feeling that tugs at you. When any of these fear-based impulses come up for you, for example, to tell you to do something to earn more money, just gently let them go. Recognize them for what they are, fear thoughts cloaked as actions and urges, and then gently let them go. Do not act on them. Do this as many times as necessary until these thoughts no longer come up for you. In my early days, when I was constantly having fearful thoughts about money, I would suddenly be compelled to check out a new business opportunity, or to invest my money in some particular way, or to try out a new money management system, all of which seemed very attractive and compelling to me at the time. As a result, I was like a headless chicken trying to chase one false lead after another, or trying to do several things at once. Recognize that all of these financial thoughts are nothing more than the shadows of our own ego, produced to give us the illusion that we are in some measure of control. We often feel the need to just go out and do something in order to feel that we are in control. But these fear-based thoughts, disguised as action steps, will never produce anything fruitful, as I have found out through my own experience. I was once compelled to check out a new business opportunity related to selling funeral plots. What? Because I felt it would be a way to make some good money. The problem, which I did not understand back then, was that my impulse came from my underlying fears of not having enough money, instead of something divinely inspired. In other words, it was not in divine order for me to be selling funeral plots, but yet I still went ahead, lured by all the lucrative promises made by the company. I spent an inordinate amount of time touring the funeral plots, learning about how the company worked, getting myself involved in the endless marketing banquets, and so on. Did anything good ever come out of it? Not at all. On top of making several wasted trips and paying an administrative fee, I was not able to sell a single customer. It wasn't something that was divinely planned for me, and I forced myself to do it because I thought it would be a good money making opportunity. Fortunately, I recognized the futility of it all and called off the working relationship after a short while. If I had listened to my higher self right from the start, I would not have wasted the effort. On the other hand, I once felt inspired to produce a new program for my clients. The idea came to me literally out of the blue one day as I was resting in bed. I sat up and started to write, and the words flowed effortlessly for me. Everything just seemed to fit into place without any struggle on my part. The subsequent marketing of the program was also effortless, and the next step just seemed to be so logical to me once the previous step concluded. I now know that the idea was not only divinely inspired, it also brought me great financial rewards. When you follow your divine path, you are richly rewarded. When you seek the financial rewards first and try to reverse engineer how you're going to get to the starting point, you are creating lots of unnecessary trouble for yourself. In all the times I have tried to do it the second way and went against my own innermost feelings, I have always ended up having to clean up the mess by either spending more time or more money. Not only that, relationships were often soured in the process. Nowadays, I eschew the second way for the first way of living. I do nothing until I feel inspired to do so. When the inspiration comes, I act on it immediately because it just feels so natural and logical to me.